So, to address the question of how movements can mobilize inside of religious communities to bring about really important forms of change, I want to tell you a story from my book, Gay on God's Campus Mobilizing for LGBT Equality at Christian Colleges and Universities. It's a story of a university named Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. Up until 2007, Belmont University had been attached to a very conservative religious group called the Tennessee Baptist Convention. Up until 2009, Belmont University had a ban on homosexual behavior in its student handbook. And finally, Belmont University had, for years, been denying LGBTQ students requests for a space where they could meet on campus and provide LGBTQ students with important forms of support. In 2009, Belmont University did allow LGBTQ students to begin meeting on campus within a group that it called Difficult Dialogues. Belmont University required that students meeting in the Difficult Dialogues group be exposed not only to pro-LGBTQ messages, but also religious perspectives that were condemning of LGBTQ people. And students were not happy about that. So students began thinking about ways that they could mobilize to try to finally bring about some really important changes at Belmont University. In the fall of 2010, Belmont University apparently asked a lesbian soccer coach who had come out as a lesbian, as a soon-to-be mother to her soccer team, to leave the school. The exact circumstances of her departure are shrouded by a non-disclosure agreement, but students certainly suspected that the soccer coach was suddenly leaving the school because, again, she had come out as a lesbian to her soccer team. And students decided to mobilize at the school. They organized a sit-in outside an administrative office. They held 2 outside rallies. They held a prayer walk. They held media availabilities. And in less than a week, Belmont University announced that it would add sexual orientation to its non-discrimination policy, a policy that would protect people like the soccer coach at Belmont. And Belmont University also announced that it would finally allow LGBTQ students a supportive space to meet on campus. It officially recognized, it officially approved a group known as Bridge Builders that would allow LGBTQ students to meet and be supported in their life journeys. How did this happen? I think the story of Belmont University holds 3 important lessons for people who are mobilizing in other kinds of religious communities to bring about other kinds of change. 1, the students at Belmont University were smart because they decided to mobilize at a time where change was conceivable. Belmont University, as I mentioned, had broken off in 2007 from the Tennessee Baptist Convention, and it was now a non-denominational university that strove to be inclusive of people from a variety of Christian denominations. And Bridge Builder students also noticed that Belmont had removed this ban on homosexual behavior in 2009 from its student handbook. They saw these things and they thought maybe there's an opportunity here to push Belmont to be finally inclusive of LGBTQ people. So they saw some opportunities to bring about change, and they really seized upon those opportunities. A second really important lesson of Belmont University is that students really smartly framed their cause as one that was in line with Belmont University. They framed LGBTQ rights as a Christian value. They argued that to be a Christian university is to be a university that is welcoming, loving, and accepting of everyone. They didn't come out and say, we hate Christianity, we hate Christians. In fact, many of the students were devout Christians who believed that being a Christian meant being loving and welcoming toward everyone. So they really smartly framed their cause as one that was in line with the Christian values of the university. And finally, a third important lesson of Belmont University is that the students and bridge builders were able to get some really important, influential, straight allies on their side. They convinced a really influential major donor at the school named Mike Curb to speak out to the media on behalf of their cause. On page 98 of my book, I quote this influential donor, Mike Curb, as telling the media it's time for Belmont to change. I promise you, if the matter is not resolved, I will continue speaking out about this the rest of my life. And that type of supportive message from a really influential, straight ally helped convince Belmont that it was time to change. It was time to provide a space of support on campus for LGBTQ students. So, in summary, I think the story of Belmont University holds three important lessons for those mobilizing inside of religious communities trying to bring about change. One, you should look for opportunities to bring about change and seize those opportunities when you find them. Number two, you should really adopt messaging that is in line with the values of your religious community. You should frame the goal you're seeking as being in line with the goals of the religious community. And third, try to seek out allies who can speak on behalf of your cause, who can talk to the leaders of your religious community and advocate on behalf of your cause. I hope this story has been helpful, and I've been really inspired talking to the students at Belmont University, and I hope you're inspired by the actions they took as well.